Just a quick setup video for the jam wagon. Yes, this thing's a few years old and it's very dirty and getting beat up. It still pumps hard though. Also, I got a baby DJ just cooing in the background. Sorry about the background noise. Moving on. So, those are Rockford Fosgate P3s. They basically are wired in series, so they're at 1 ohm, stable, getting 1,000 watts to them. The kickers are the 6x9s, and to be honest, I blew my last ones and I was on a budget when I was throwing this together, so I just put some kickers in there. Each one of those is getting 60 watts to it though. The Alpines, those are S4s. I think they max out at like 125 or 150 watts, not sure, but they're getting 100 to them stable. I wanted some clarity of sound when everything was turned up. The switches, all those toggle switches I just got from Amazon, same with all this felt. All these little tiny finish tacks that you see here just came from Joann's. Those are just spring-loaded hangers from Home Depot. This is just some paracord I weaved around the handle. And yeah, all the felt I ordered from Amazon as well. Moving on. So this is a Kinetic Blue battery. It was an AGM high output battery so that I could hopefully avoid capacitors. This thing should be able to put like 30 amps out, I think. Can't see too well back in here. Let's see if I can get it to actually focus. All right. So back in there, you can't tell because it's under all that sound mat, but everywhere one of these pegs is sticking out, that's where I can tie into a ground, kind of like right here. There's just one long solid piece of iron all the way throughout the back there. That's just my grounding point. This is an electric antenna that I got from AutoZone. I went and got me some 1-gauge wire for the ground, 1-gauge wire for the power going in. Never mind the jumper cables, that's for the smart charger that goes to it. One big fuse comes around, wraps to the distribution block. One of those, if you can barely see in here, I've got a fuse box, and that's basically for all the preamps and everything for my toggle switches. That's all that is. And then, let's go ahead and zoom out here. And then we'll take this lid off that I have unscrewed to hopefully make this go by a little quicker. Okay. Oh, while we're at it, I also ordered offline all of the sound dampening mat that's underneath it here. Trying to reduce some rattles. The box for the 6x9s and for the subs I bought from Stereo Warehouse, but as you could probably tell, I built this box for the Alpines. The Alpines and the kickers, they have this 10-gauge wire going to them. I got 4-gauge wire that's coming from the amps to the block itself. Going to the preamps and such, it's just that little 12-gauge wire. And honestly, this audio cable was the most expensive one. These two are decent, but they're not the best. They get a whole lot less interference going to just the 1 amp, so I wasn't so worried. This wire, however, crosses over all my other wires, and I really didn't want to get distortion put into the signal, so I bought an insulated one just to hopefully avoid that. We are looking at a Kenwood Exelon X50 or 450 by 4. And what that does is actually 100 watts to a front speaker, 100 watts to a front speaker, 60 and 60 to the rears. Again, front speakers are the Alpines, the rears are the 6x9s. Otherwise, this guy, I want to say it's a Memphis, what is it, PRX1 1000? Yeah, PRX1 1000. It's 1 ohm stable, which is what it's at now, pushing 1,000 watts to the subs. Here is that little tiny smart charger that I was talking about. You don't need this guy plugged in to be able to play it. Obviously, it's got its own battery. It'll play for hours and hours, but I use it a lot, so let's be real. I leave it plugged in. Next up down here, for the fun of it, I don't think I actually ever really need it, but there's a CPU fan. Hold on a second, let me flick this switch. Yep, and the whole idea of that is just in case it was starting to get too hot when I'm playing in the summer. You might notice that there's a bit of an offset on this lip here. Same goes for right here, and there is a tiny gap down along the sides in there. That's where it pushes a lot of the air when the lid is on, so that's actually meant to breathe on purpose. The fuse block underneath, this distribution block, the fuses, all of that, it just kind of came from Amazon. Except for, yeah, like I said, AutoZone for the antenna, which antenna, fan, this one goes to the subs, this one goes to the Kenwood, this one arms the whole system. Bling! And then want to say that's about it. Otherwise, whatever you just feel like it's any other car stereo, you just go ahead and sync it to whatever you want. USB, Pandora, you want to do Spotify, Bluetooth, auxiliary, standby, radio. It's whatever you feel like doing. That guy just comes back down when you click it off. Turns all these bad boys on. The CPU fan I got from Amazon, it was just the strongest one I could find. I wasn't really too worried about noise interference. And I want to say that's about it. That's the whole ordeal. Buildasign.com for the Jam Wagon license plate. And yeah, the wagon itself, that was $50 at Harbor Freight. That's about all I got, honestly, for you. My little tiny tool kit in here, that's where my Allen wrenches are. You can't see it from the back, but I do got a little access port right here in case you want to mess with the charger. And aside from that, this is just a car stereo that had 3 audio out ports. So that's about all I needed there. Then you just run the wiring harness into your fuse block so that it goes to all your switches. And then this bad boy's ready to go. And another fun fact, this is just a smart battery charger, so if you need to charge anyone's car battery or something, it's as simple as just taking off the little jumper cables. And you just lean them out the door here for a second, and then like down on the ground is where I would charge a spare battery. So that's a basic setup, and that's what I'm running. Alpine S4s, Kicker 6x9, Rockford Fosgate P3s. Hope you enjoyed the video.